Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner, my hard mode playthrough. We are in Imandra, picking up where we left off pretty much, in the Tatarin. We're going to do a couple of scout related things in the gateway corner of the Imandra map. First of which is to go and pick up what I think is the last upgrade on the map. It's the only one that I haven't got yet as far as I'm aware, unless I've missed something, but I'll have a look before I wrap the series, obviously, and move on to another region. A little bit of a dodgy terrain. It does say on the map that this is a road, honest. This could be fun if I start with a disaster. No problem. No problem. Tatarin for the win. So a little bit of a channel update and an apology. As Max has already pointed out in comments, the Saturday video for this week didn't get posted on time. And it's funny because the previous episode to that, the Friday episode, I talk about how YouTube, some series just die without any word from the creator, and that's exactly a scenario where 500 subs will mean that I can have a community page and provide an update. But in this case, on Saturday, or the Saturday episode, OBS missed out part of the recording. It's done it before to me, and I do normally record or start pressing record 5 minutes before the start of me doing anything, just to make sure I try not to do that. And I don't know what happened this time, it all went wrong. But anyway, it took me a bit longer to fix that episode, and I missed the deadline for uploading for Saturday. So yeah, apologies for that if anybody was waiting for an episode on Saturday. Max clearly was. So I knew what this was. This is the engageable all-wheel drive for the twin steer, which is something that I am interested in. I'm not sure what I'll use the truck for, but for certain things, it's it's a unique truck in that it's the only rigid 4-slot delivery vehicle. So I'm keeping it for that reason, but I'm sure it'll be useful for some stuff. So let's push on. I doubt if I'll use that truck for anything in Kola Peninsula, which is why I haven't rushed about getting that upgrade early. I'm going to try and follow the air quotes path out rather than going back the way I came in. If I can turn this corner. Yeah, the wheels on the right are up against that big rock, and then I've got a tree right on the corner. Let's see if I can use the winch for one of these others just to pull my nose down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so Saturday's video this week is posted at the time of recording. I'm recording Sunday morning, and the video is posted and ready to go live on Sunday afternoon, and that was an OBS issue. But actually, looking at the analytics as well, Saturday is the quietest day for the channel in terms of viewer activity. So I'm thinking I might make it Sunday anyway going forward, so that would make my posting schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, rather than Saturday instead of Saturday, Sunday. I think from a channel perspective it makes sense, but I'll see how I go with it. Saturday there's quite often other stuff going on. Sunday's a more chilled out day, not just for me, but I'm sure for most people. Whereas Saturday can be a bit of a hectic day. So I have struggled in the past. Let's just check out what this is. I'm looking to pick up these 2 extra tasks that I haven't previously grabbed before. This one is, I'm assuming, the lighthouse. Yeah, so I think this is a scouting POI one, so accept it. track it. And I'm assuming, yeah, as I expected in the previous episode, this is just a case of get up to have a look at this abandoned lighthouse. And I'd seen that lighthouse from driving down the road and figured that there would be something to do in there, because it's why would they build a piece of terrain like that and not have it as an objective of something? So let's do that. And then the other one is that this forecast for tomorrow, I haven't been and tagged yet either, so we'll do that next. And there's a trailer in there. I don't know if that's related to the forecast or whether the forecast is another job of visiting meteorology stations like it is in some other maps. That looks like a trap. That looks very much like a trap. Am I gonna eat? It's creaking like a trap as well. See, sometimes you got to admit, sometimes Leroy is right. Just run for it, go for it. Right, little allotment area, small holding. Engine off. Task. So forecast for tomorrow. And as far as I'm aware, oh blimey, look at that, $11,000. Okay, that's interesting. What's this one then? This is going to be a challenge, whatever this will be. It's not going to be trivial, is it? For 11, they don't give out 11 grand for easy tasks. Weather capture zone. Okay, so as expected, 3 POIs. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, okay. They're all kind of in the area that I need to go for other stuff. That's not too bad. Right. Okay. So daylight's wasting. Let's get on with it. Let's just play safe. Back her up. Out here. Probably down. And get up to the airfield and then around to this Umber battery, because this Places of Military Glory is the last scouting thing in this corner. I can get that done and out of the way. And I am going to move, as I said last time, anti-clockwise around the map. Just feels like I could go over the top of that hill, but it's probably too risky. And I'm not sure that I fancy trying that puddle again, having already broken the ice up, so I'm going to come around this way instead. Just hook myself onto a titanium tree. There we go. Didn't want any puddle shenanigans going on. Nice bit of daylight. So one of the things we also have to do, we've got to drag this loaf somewhere, haven't we? Let's not forget that job. Just pull it out a little bit and have a think about whether or not to do that first. I'd forgotten that task, to be honest. Supposed to deliver this under the cover of dark. It's almost like the person's ashamed of owning a loaf, which is just outrageous, obviously. Nighttime delivery. So that's a little... It's kind of close, but kind of not. Bit of a nuisance, isn't it? So the Umber battery is there, but technically this nighttime delivery is a little bit closer, isn't it? I think I need to do this first. Changing plans on the fly, as you do. So rid of that. Cross up this path to here. And then see if I can explore my way up into there to deliver that to the secret spot. Because the Tatarin is the obvious vehicle to try and do this with, I believe. And then I can work my way around the map. And I struggle a little bit with this because this is kind of a bitty phase of any map. But in Kola Peninsula generally, there are a lot more small tasks than there are big contracts. It's a very sort of scout task and vehicle recovery task heavy region. And yeah, there's a couple of big contracts and tasks that are going to be multi-episode pain in the ass to do big stuff. But really, the majority of it is this sort of small go here, go there, go for type tasks. And obviously it's fun, but it also, from an episode perspective, it can make an episode quite messy. Because it's different. Some of these things only take 5 or 10 minutes. But rather than having an episode that's like focused on one major activity, you end up with several episodes of yet more task completion, yet more scouting. So yeah, it's I'm trying to get the balance right, but I think I would find it more enjoyable to play as let's get all this little stuff out of the way and leave ourselves with the logging and the airplane recovery as the big things left to finish out the series. Because I think it would be more fun then. And it's difficult, you know, if I try to mix some of these small tasks with the big tasks, I just end up getting less done. Right, so engine on and have a little look, because this is marked as a path, but it isn't clearly. And then that is also marked as a path into the little secret spot. So somehow I've got to try and get up there with this vehicle behind me on a rope. Okay. I've got a full roof tank of fuel. And I'll have a look and see if there's any in this low. But maybe. I can't remember if I've already robbed it. Drop the rope. There we go. Let's just have a look. Oh, the lope is full. Slurp. It's not full anymore, mate. Sorry. Feel bad, but I don't really. You're asking me to deliver this. I'm also not delivering it at night, am I? So I'm not following the mission brief at all for this one. It'd be funny if the task actually said, you know, must be completed at night, and it wouldn't accept completion unless it was after 11 PM and before 4 AM or something. That would be interesting in a hard mode scenario where you can't mess around with time. Swampy stuff. Not a drowning risk, but a bit muddy. And then this, again, looks like the start of a trail. So, yeah, it does seem to think that this is a trail. And it's as good as the other side. Right, drag her in. Get closer, please, Lo. And see what this supposed trail looks like. Pretty interesting when even the Tatarin is struggling with the terrain. Won't the winch connect? Must have been slightly out of reach, even though it said it was in range. Oh, just took a chunk out of me. He's a lope engine. I am still on the trail, right? I'm not. Yeah, this is still the thing that on the map is a trail. Okay, I just worried that I'd got lost completely. You're going to get that helicopter that keeps buzzing me to deliver this, mate. This is a ridiculous place to hide. Well, this is a more challenging delivery than I expected. Don't blame me. I'm not taking responsibility for that engine damage. I'm not the one that chose to live in a stupid place like this. And now I've got sheet ice, so yeah. This is not the Tatarin's favourite place. The delivery looks like it's down in a sheet ice sump as well. Uh-oh. Alright, here's the deal. Low. Here's the deal, mate. I'm going to put you there. Now I'm going to very, very carefully get on the other side of you. And then you, mate, are going home. Go on, go on, go on. Oh, I was hoping it would slide or roll a bit better than that. I don't want to go in there. Managed to get a tree and get myself out. Okay, I thought I was going to get stuck in there forever. I was just trying to push that thing in. There's no way I wanted to go in there and pull it down. I don't think I'd ever get out. Engine off. Now I can do the delivery. Nighttime delivery. Pleasure doing business with folks such as you. Here, you've earned it fair and square. Don't tell anybody. Got it? I will not tell anybody. $2.5 grand for that delivery. I think that deserves more than that. I feel a lot less guilty about stealing all your fuel now, mate. Well, let's just try and carry on. And I think in terms of next objective, it is going to be the places of military glory. But that basically means get to the airport, which I'm fairly close to already. So that's not too bad, actually. That was a detour, and it was a bit of a more painful delivery than I had anticipated. It's still not too bad. This says it's got a path. Okay, so it says the path is that way. Pointing the wrong way. The path is across the top of those rocks then. Yeah, so the biggest problem with all of those scouting type activities is that it's really easy to drive past an objective. And I've done that definitely in this series, where if I'd have tagged everything at the start the way I should have done, I could have got some of these scouting objectives done. But if you don't activate the mission, you don't always see the thing that has to be delivered, and it's really easy to completely miss it. Right, there we go. More or less know where we are again. This airfield could really do a resupply zone. There isn't one on this map at all. You gotta go back to Lake Cov to get resupply. I'd love to fill up my spare parts and do some repairs on this thing. So down to the Umba battery, or Umba battery, what's it called? Umba. So this is the same route that we've taken with trucks to get across the small bridge. Another sunken battleship of some sort. I can see guns on it anyway. Right, so that's that update, and a couple of little, what class would that be? Is that cruisers? And what class of fighting vessel that would be? They're not moored either, they're sunk. Right, so back out from here. Keep pushing around the map. What am I stuck on? I'm stuck in the terrain there. Oh, I'm out of fuel. I'm out of fuel. I'm not stuck. I'm out of fuel. Right, fine. I've got a full roof rack, so that's me now. Empty roof rack. So I've got to be a bit careful of fuel now. Yeah, I thought I was stuck then, the way it was behaving, but no. It was coughing and spluttering, not stuck. So, engine off. What's next? So in terms of this task, we've got to get up on top of this hill for Canada battery, probably next. And there's probably a couple other things up there. But the next update... Keepsake, so this one probably. And then lighthouse. And we'll rendezvous with the loaf, which hopefully has some fuel. And hopefully we can take with us. I've had several attempts at moving that loaf around to the garage area, and I would like to get it done. Not least... Ooh, stop. Oh, I was going to slide off the edge then. A little bit of a tense moment for me. Not been across here in this. That felt a little bit narrow for the Tatarin then. More so than other trucks that I've done. Plus the Tatarin does slide. I've been across here with trucks that have got chains on. There we go. Right, let's get around and meet the loaf. So the loaf is slightly stuck in the ice. I started moving it in the direction of doing Keepsake. And then it just went axle deep into ice, and it's my fault. And I didn't include it in the video in the previous episode, just because it was me. It was like 30 seconds of me. Let's jump in a loaf. This will be really easy, and then 5 minutes of, damn it, the loaf is stuck again. So totally my fault, not the loaf's fault. But let's not dwell on it. I suck at driving this vehicle. Let's just get it out and onto solid ice. I think for me it's the wheels on the loaf are so small that they just get stuck anywhere. And that's not, you know, negating the fact that other people do really well with it. I won't take fuel just yet. The loaf has got a full roof rack basically, so let's see if I can not get stuck in the Tatarin. I just went too far to the left in the loaf and I got it into the breakable ice rather than on this crusty stuff, because I thought this crusty stuff would be difficult for those small wheels. There you go then. Keepsake. Yeah, this is it. Here, take it. Well earned. $4,800. That's nice money again. Engine off. Save some fuel. That's moored apparently, according to the task. Yeah, that's moored. No mate, that is sunk. Oh, and we got a bit of floating ice. Bit of levitating ice in the background. Staying away from that voodoo magic. So that's keepsake. The next one will hopefully complete a task. I am gonna take this loaf with me. So I think what I'll do is jump into the loaf. And grab some of that fuel out of its route for the Tatarin, because it's more use in the Tatarin at the moment. Engine on. Refuel from my roof rack into the Tatarin. All of it. So now the loaf has got 11 litres in its fuel tank, but an empty roof rack. And we'll get the Tatarin to tow us. Alright, so looking at the terrain, I probably do want to do the lighthouse first from here, and then come in and do the labyrinth. To me, that seems sensible. Lights. A little bit of icy road stuff to maneuver though. Not the Tatarin's strongest suit though, is it? I need to find the bits where I can bypass the road and drive in the snow. Tatarin will do much better. It's only got a little dribble of fuel, maybe let it assist me a little bit. Right, and then is this where I said I would leave the road? It is. Turning the engine off on the low, leave the low where it is, and get myself moving enough to get off the road to the right and go to that lighthouse. So somewhere here, there's got to be a route up to this lighthouse, and that route is more there. This might be a change job. I may not be able to do this in this vehicle, but we'll try. Oh, that's done some big damage. Suspension again. Wheels aren't quite out yet. Pretty brutal stuff. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm going to have no truck left by the time I finish this. Sometimes it will just not go in the direction that you want to point it. Gets a rock under its belly and it just like seesaws on it. This lighthouse must be supplied by a helicopter usually. No, 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 no. Don't give me that. I'm stuck. I'm bellied out on 2 rocks. And none of my 8 wheels are in contact with the ground. Can't see anything anyway. I am proper stuck. And there's nothing within winch distance. Oh my days. And it's pitch black, so I can't see either. I think this is going to need a rescue. I can maybe try and look at it in daylight, but I am pretty sure that is just bellied out on at least 2 rocks with no wheels in contact with the ground, and all I'm doing is wasting fuel. No winch points in any direction. I probably noticed that before I Leroyed into it, but that is stuck, ladies and gentlemen. That is stuck. I've achieved the impossible. Tatarin in an unrecoverable situation. And the Tatarin is the one that I would bring in to rescue something like this. So what the hell do I do next? Uh-oh. Right. Okay. So in terms of what to do next, is not get this out, because I'm nowhere near the end yet. I'm going to have to bring something like the Grad in, I think. The Voron Grad is probably my only choice. There's no way the Loaf is getting in there, even without a fuel issue. No way. That's a horrible bit of terrain. I could maybe have come around this side, but even so, the bit I'm stuck on, there's no way in. It's just a spiral of rock, so there's no other way to get to it. So, what I'm going to do, speaking of the War on Grad, before starting this episode, I positioned it at the contest. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll see how much time is left. So I haven't got a massive amount of fuel, got 2/3 of a tank of fuel. And this contest is to retrieve 1 set of metal beams down to the warehouse in 4 minutes for gold. Now there's a couple of bits of this path that are a tip hazard that I am worried about. But I'm still going to use the route of that I previously used when I came here to collect metal beams in the Grad and Phoenix. I still think it's probably the route to take and deliver somewhere like there. I'm going to do that now because it's the right duration of activity for what's left of the episode, and I might even get something else done afterwards, but I'm struggling for fuel to go in terms of going and rescuing that Tatarin. I'm a little bit worried that I haven't got enough fuel to get there and back in the Grad. That Tatarin might sit there for an episode or 2 until I've relocated some fuel back to this corner of the map. It's thrown me a bit. So let's get this contest done. Now, I've got a crane on, but as we established when I came here for metal beams, this location doesn't give you a ground loading option, so therefore I've got to pay the auto load fee, which I don't like doing, but for contests I don't mind it so much. I've got a crane on because I need it for something else. So I'm going to back into the contest zone. I'm not so sure about doing this in the dark, but it's 2:30 in the morning, so there's not a lot of choice. Kind of know the road. There's a couple of bits, especially through here, where I've got to be really careful about the tip hazard. That section is really dodgy for tip hazard. So just got to be a bit careful coming through there. Worry about completion rather than gold. Worst case scenario, I've got a crane on, so as long as I don't have to change vehicle, I should be okay. Handbrake off. Task. Let's gun it. Let's go. And I also, before staging the grad here, I have put the dual rear tyres on, so we'll also see how they cope. Be nice to get this contest out the way and done. I'm going to stick it into dip lock mode. I know it's a time trial and I shouldn't be in low really, I should be in high and screaming down the mountain at 50 miles an hour, but just want to have a reasonable chance at completion. Not done a dry run of this as usual. My campaign mode, where I've looked at contests before, I haven't even got into Imandra yet on my campaign mode. I haven't really played that this season. Let's just not tip there, please. This is into the area where there's a little bit of a tip hazard, so I've got to be a bit careful now. Alright, whack it into reverse. I'm on a titanium tree. This is probably the worst bit for tip hazard. Hopefully. I need a dip lock there, I feel. And then we've got the water to negotiate, which hopefully is alright. Oh, these contests are so nerve-wracking. My old ticker can't take it. Try and get that titanium tree. Yep. Go, go, go. Very rocky under this water. I'm in dip lock. Oh, come on. That tree, maybe? No, don't tip it. Right, so I know I've missed gold. Just got to get a little bit of forward movement to get out of the rocks. I'm bellied out on rocks in the water, I think, again. Just got to get the leverage to get past it. Right, so I know I've missed gold because I saw it when I was trying to do winch stuff then. I'll be lucky to get silver at this rate, but... if I get completion, I will not be retrying it. I don't care. That fuel trailer is empty, unfortunately, so I can't use that to refuel and go and get the Tatarin out. Bronze. 5.5, so nearly 6 minutes, and that's a 4-minute gold. Blimey. So bronze, but you know what? I don't care. I bloody hate those contests. I don't know. Obviously not this vehicle, because I don't think I could have gone much faster in this vehicle. I just either need a different route, and I lost a lot of time getting out of the water. So there must be a better route, either through or around that water. But maybe coming this way instead and avoiding the water entirely. Well, you can't avoid it entirely, but maybe skirting it. But I'm not doing that again. I don't want to spend the fuel on it. As far as I'm concerned, it's gone from this list, and completion says it's done. So that's enough for me. Right. Okay. So have I got time to do anything else? Getting that Tatarin stuck has really scuppered my plans because my grad has only got 40% of a tank. And what I had intended to do with the grad was pick up the cargo container needed from this location and head down to Riddle of Geology and meet up with the Tatra. But the grad struggles on rocks as well. Maybe the Phoenix is the best one to get that Tatarin out anyway. Maybe that's the play anyway, is that I'll wait until the Phoenix is back up on this north side of the map and then use the Phoenix to go and get because the Phoenix is a lot more capable on those icy rocks with the 8-wheel drive. Yeah, I might end up leaving the Tatarin there for an episode or two until the Phoenix is back up to the north of the map. In which case, I can just about squeeze into the episode, sticking to my original plan for the grad, which is load up a cargo container and start taking it down to where the Phoenix is parked. Even if I don't get there all the way, at least make a start on it. So cargo mode on the loading platform, please. Crane mode. Let's get one of these loaded up. Sabre Interactive. Construction workers need their Xboxes preloaded with SnowRunner. Don't fall out. I knew that was going to happen. I was being a bit slack guy, to be fair. That'll do. Back the cargo, restore the crane, and we'll see how the grad does with this delivery. The Phoenix did it no problem, so this will be a like-for-like comparison really, except that I've only got 40% of a tank of fuel, so I've got to be a little bit careful. Obviously disappointed at not getting gold on that contest, but if there's a few seconds in it, then I might have retried it. But when it's nearly 2 minutes out and like 50% over the duration that the game is supposed to allocate for you for it, I'm just not sure it's worth the effort of trying to do it again. Generally can bump over this no problem. Did a bit of damage doing it because I tried to ram it instead of bumping over it. Getting the Tatarin stuck has really thrown what I expected to do in this episode. I didn't think I'd be doing this. So these dual rear tyres, logically, they should make, to me they make sense. There's more surface area of tyre in contact with the ground. Therefore, you're less likely to sink into the boggy stuff. But logically, they make sense. And stats-wise, they are like the same good, average, excellent rating as the single tyres. The only difference is that the single tyres for chains are based off a mud tyre, whereas these are based off an off-road. UOD ones, I think, or UHD twos, or anyway, one of those. So these are off-road tyres with chains, whereas the previous tyres I had on this were mud tyres with chains. So I'm not, but the rating says they're the same. So yeah, we'll see. It's made the truck slightly wider at the wheelbase level. Let's see how we do with it. I kept the other tyres just in case I decide to switch back. I haven't sold them. Yeah, I like that. Nice bit of lighting with the sun on the ice. It's a nice truck to drive. It's nice and it's quite quiet. It's like it's a good throaty roar to the engine, but it's not whiny or particularly noisy. Right, so gunning this worked with 8-wheel drive. Does it also work? Just about works with 6-wheel drive. Bypassing that because even 8-wheel drive didn't like that little piece. It's a bit too wide. No performance concerns so far in comparison to the Tatra. Getting the job done. Oh, did I just see 100 and something damage then? Yeah, I've taken out a tyre and I'm almost out of fuel. And I don't have a spare tyre. I must have already used it. Which tyre is gone? That front right tyre is gone. It's not good. A bit less impactful if it's one of the rears. I think when I bring any other trucks through from the other map, I ought to bring the service trailer with me. I have got a service trailer there. I could bring in 8 tyres and 1,500 spare parts. And then up here. Okay, to be fair, it's not doing bad considering it's got one of its main tyres is offline. Winch on something, then I lost bit of flickering of the screen then because I lost, in the panic, I lost my mouse onto the side monitor. And the game doesn't like it. I wish there was a way of stopping that. Most games are fine with it, but this game is one of those that really doesn't. I want to get onto a bigger tree, please. Is that the tyre destabilizing me to that extent? Or am I just... I mean, it is a nasty camber, but I don't remember having this problem with the Tatra. I'm running out of fuel now, I can hear it. I am approaching a camp that's got a fuel trailer. Hear the engine. Five litres. I am close to a fuel trailer, but I'm not going to get there. No way. So, stop messing around, Phoenix. I left it with this fuel trailer in this camp because I wasn't sure if I needed to come back up here for anything else, but I'm sure now I don't. So I may as well move it down, not necessarily all the way to where the grad is, but at least down to where the aircraft recovery phases are. Because I've got to bring some big trucks in and do some big deliveries down here, so this fuel is be useful for the aircraft recovery. Not sure if I've got a spare tyre on this that I can use to put on that grad. Right, I'm going to leave that fuel carrier there. This is going to be my little fuel depot. I will refuel here and then I'll go and get the grad, get that delivery done. I'm determined to get that done in this episode now, even though it'll make the editing job a little bit more difficult. I suppose I should be grateful I didn't run out of fuel on the bit where I was struggling to get a winch on that bad camber with the grad. Could have ended much worse. Take this past, turn it round. Don't really need them both to go back in, but it's just going to be easier. So at least as far as the fuel, I'll take the Phoenix back. And it doesn't have a spare tyre to fix that grad, so the grad's on its own in terms of tyres. This Phoenix has got a great turning circle, but it is quite slow lock to lock. It's very easy to oversteer, even though it's got a good turning circle. It's a bit of a strange thing to get used to, really. Fuel them both up. Then switch into the grad and get the delivery done. It should be able to limp through. I thought about, while I was towing that, I thought about transferring the cargo to the Phoenix, which doesn't have a tyre missing, but should be alright. I'm sure the grad can manage it. Just don't go mad, because your steerage isn't going to be right. And I may end up putting a large crane on one of these two vehicles to come down here. I don't really fancy bringing in the Paystar, although that does currently own the only large crane we have, which is the American one. So I'd have to buy a large crane if I decide to put it on a Russian truck. Or non-American truck, rather. I don't think I've referred to the Tatarin Phoenix as Russian, but somebody pointed out it's Czech Republic that they're built. So yeah, I always kind of assume American and non-American when I say Russian, I suppose. But yeah, I don't think they can take the American red large crane. You have to buy the yellow one. But one of these two vehicles, if they can take that large crane, might be a decent crane platform. I certainly don't fancy bringing the Azov down. It's some pretty nasty terrain for the chin. Right, okay, here we go. This should be the delivery point. Cargo, container, done. Our saviour. Now we've got enough supplies to last till the end of this trip. Nearly 6 grand. Worth a little bit of hassle. Don't mind that at all. Okay, so we got there. It threw me completely that the Tatarin got stuck. Didn't expect that at all. I will have to work out how to get that out. Being buzzed by a helicopter again. But that's going to be enough for this episode. I will leave it here. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. In the meantime, thank you and goodbye.